right, welcome back to another episode of Goal Getters. I'm your host, John, with my friend and co-host, Scott. Hey, Scott, how's it going?
What's up, man? How's it doing? How's everybody out there doing? Hope everybody's
all right.
good.
Robin, you're here. Hi, Robin. Hello. You'll be hearing from her questions and stuff. Yeah, going all right. You know, oh, wait. I just saw breaking news. Damian Lillard just signed a 2-year, $122 million deal.
I saw that when you and I were speaking. I saw it.
Yeah. Oh, wow. $61 million average per year.
122 mil for 2 years. Is that too much for him? Is that the basketball contracts now? That's a hell of a lot of money, man.
Average annual. Yeah, it's him, Devin Booker, Karl Anthony Towns, Jokic, Curry. Yeah, it just keeps going and go.
60 mil a year. How do you even spend 60 mil in a fucking lifetime?
You would hope families should be set up for decades.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And they'll manage to figure out a way to be broke. They always do. I guess the NBA is one of the biggest out of all the leagues. I guess the NBA is the worst. With guys ending up broke, even though they get tons of money. I'm not saying that's going to happen to Damian Lillard, but
Lillard is. I guess he is. I mean, the thing is, what I always think about it when I see someone's getting that money, I can only imagine what the ownership is getting because they wouldn't pay it if they couldn't. You know what I mean?
In the NBA, are those contracts fully guaranteed?
Yes, they are.
They?
Just like Okay. Just like
it's a lot of money, man. Woo.
Yeah, I think everyone is pretty much always. I think the NHL. There's something.
The NFL's the only one that doesn't guarantee you.
I think even the other ones. But I mean, if you retire, obviously, it's not things. I don't know how they do that, but yeah, I think so. Good question, but I'm pretty sure. I don't know, but Lillard. I mean, we got some NBA news yesterday. Scott, was the NHL draft, and that wasn't really so much the thing. I mean, the NHL draft, okay, the Canadians had the number 1 pick. There was a big thing over Shane Wright, who was big left winger, who was supposed to go number 1, consensus number 1. He doesn't go till 4 to the Seattle Kraken.
How's that happen?
I don't know.
Nothing came out? You didn't see anything like any breaking news or anything in regards to the guy?
No, right, Rob? No, but
that's got to be rare for a guy to go be labeled as a number 1 and drop to 4.
Now, there was no one in this draft that was like McDavid or Matthew. There was none of that.
Right.
There was no generational guy, but he seemed to be consensusly number 1. And I wish I'd have got the video. You'll have to watch it out there. And Scott, if you missed it, when he goes up to shake hands with Gary Bettman. As Seattle, because he's the number 1 guy.
He was the guy that was the number 1.
Yeah, Shane Wright. This is the guy who got kind of he didn't go to number 4.
He got knocked down to 4, right?
He puts on. I never seen anything like. He shakes hand with Batman and he stares right at the Canadians. You can see he looks like he just like bullets were coming out of his eyes, looking at the Canadians. Whatever you call it, draft table, and. I was like, wow.
He didn't never point at him or anything like that? He just looked at him?
Just looked. And
that's all he had to do. That's beautiful. I love it.
And it was like a good 2-second stare. So it was interesting. I should have got that. It was crazy. But what really went on there was a lot of trades. There was
my phone was going ballistic last night.
Yeah, a goalie carousel. I mean, teams that need goalies right now. Well, let's start with Montreal first. The Montreal Canadiens, they didn't get a goalie, but the Blackhawks are trading their team away again. So I'll answer that in a minute, Chris. Give me 1 second. We can talk about the Sabres and the Knights.
By the way, sorry, say hi.
Yes, Don. Hello, everyone for watching. Thank you. Jonathan Toews and Patrick Kane must be sick because they're going through another rebuild. So, the Canadians got Kirby, I think his last name is Dach, D-A-C-H. He's only 21 years old. Montreal traded their number 13 and number 66 pick overall for this 21-year-old who was, I think, the number 3 pick 2 years ago. And he looks like he's going to be a good player. He played well this year in the league. So they moved him away, the Blackhawks. Then they moved away Alex DeBrincat. And Alex DeBrincat is 24 years old. He had 40 goals this year and 78 points at 24 years old. And they traded that, and this is a great move by Ottawa. to Ottawa for the number 7 pick overall and the number 39 pick overall. So Chicago's unloading everything. I guess will be their second rebuild, which is weird. You know, Kane and Toews.
In how many years?
God, this has got to be 4 years, and then they rebuilt again. They did, and they got DeBrincat and Doc, and they kind of were bad, and they kept drafting high. But for some reason now they've shipped those guys out, and they're starting over again.
They got a new GM and things like that in there, or
they must. And you know what? I can't.
They usually trick just because it usually triggers that.
Definitely, I just even with that, it just amazes me because those two guys, DeBrincat and Doc, were just. I mean, there'd be people you'd think you'd build around. I was stunned. I was stunned by those guys going, and I thought Montreal and Ottawa did a great job getting them. It brought me right to Jonathan Toews and Patrick Kane, who are both making $10.5 million a year. And in hockey, that's a lot. So they're not going anywhere. They have one more year on their deal, and then they can get out. And they can become unrestricted and probably try to chase a Stanley Cup somewhere, which they already won in Chicago. But I just found it to be interesting, and I thought Montreal did well. I thought Ottawa did very well in that. But then it's the goalie, Scott. The goalie carousel was unreal. It was kind of like, it really was. It was like a merry-go-round. It started out with Colorado. They just won the Stanley Cup. And Darcy Kemper, their goalie, was expected to be a free agent. Wednesday free agency starts. And Colorado traded a third-round pick and a fifth-round pick for the Rangers' backup, who's supposed to be very good, Alexander Gorgiev. So that means Kemper is gone. He won't be back with Colorado.
Why is Kemper just because they won the cup? He wants a ton of money.
I'm going to assume he's probably looking for, and it's.
You think he'll get it?
Yes. Yeah. But when you see a ton, you're talking $4 or $5 million a year. The
Sabres seem to be looking for a goalie.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
Yeah, I know. I'm just throwing it out there.
They're ridiculous.
I saw that.
So Gorgiev goes to Colorado. So that means Colorado's they got their goalie. They got him and the backup who played well for them too. So there you go. Darcy Kemper's available.
So they might not miss a beat next year.
Here, actually,
we talked about that last time when I talked to you. I can't remember if we talked about it on air or not, but
yeah, let me play some. I got some. Unmute our mics. Here's some Gorgiev, some highlights. He was awfully good for the Rangers, but then Shesterkin shows up, and he sat on the bench. So we'll see how Gorgiev does over there. But it's a great situation and a great place to be, Colorado.
So what? He was the starter the year before.
He was the starter for. They were kind of going back and forth, and then Shesterkin just took it. And but the guy's good. I mean, he should be safe. I mean, he's obviously. It's a good situation. What a great place for him to go to Colorado. I mean, you can't. How can you go wrong? The oldest guy,
Mark, nice saves there, man.
Yeah, I mean, look at this.
I know, that's insane.
Yeah,
I love those kinds of saves, man.
Yeah, Marc-Andre Fleury, who won Stanley Cup with the Penguins, he stayed with Minnesota. He was going to be an unrestricted free agent. Well, he stayed with Minnesota 2 years, $7 million is the contract. Then there was some other things that happened. Vita Vanacek, who we talked about before in the past, he was with the Capitals, who have Samsonov, but they're not happy with him. But they traded Vanacek to New Jersey for a second and third round pick, and so they're in the market now for a goal. Billy Husso, he was kind of the starter in St. Louis, but then they went with Jordan Binnington, the guy they won the Stanley Cup with. Well, Husso got traded to Detroit for a third round pick. Great move for the Red Wings. So you have teams like the Leafs, the Oilers, and the Capitals that need goalies. And out there is Darcy Kemper, the Leafs goalie Jack Campbell, and Robin. Am I forgetting another goalie? I don't think there is goalies out there, but not
just not good caliber goalies.
Not the big name. Like Holtby was great at one time. He won the Vezina, but he kind of in 2015. But he's never been the same since he won the Cup with Washington. Guys like that.
Okay.
So the Leafs and the Oilers, these are two teams that are win now. So it'll be interesting to see if they're able to keep.
You think the Leafs would be on it immediately, seeing as how far they got?
Well, the Maple Leafs did something last night, which was their goal. They had a backup goalie named Peter Mrazek, who was with Carolina. They overpaid for him. They had him for $3.7 million a year, and he had another year with him. It cost them. What did it cost them last night? A 3rd-round pick and a later pick, I believe, just to get rid of him. Just to get rid of the money. So basically, they got $3.8 million. That's all that was. That they gave us. No, actually, I take that back. I take that back. They gave up their 25th. They gave up their 1st-round pick, which was 25 overall, just to free up $3.8 million. And someone else did the same thing. I don't know if Edmonton did that too. But anyways, yeah, they did. Yeah, because they traded Zach Kassian. So that also freed up for them $3.5 million. So both teams freed up money. The Leafs,
obviously, to take a run at a goalie, right?
You would think the Leafs will keep Jack Campbell. I don't know why they wouldn't now if they can. I'm thinking the Oilers, Darcy Kemper. Well, see, I don't know. It depends. The salary cap in the NHL sucks. I hate it. It just, you get penalized for winning. You get penalized for. I mean, look at that. I mean, now
it's amazing that you get penalized for what. It's amazing to me the way that works.
You just don't. If you draft all right. I mean, Colorado has what they have, but now Makar, who won the Conn Smythe, the defenseman, he's going to be off that rookie contract in another year. He's going to be worth $10 million. I mean, what's he getting a year? He's got to be. And if he continues this type of play, they haven't seen play like this since Bobby Orr. They say numbers with Makar, and he did it in the playoff. Nice. So they're kind of screwed. So that's why they have to let Zach Kassian go. That's why they're going to let Nikushin go. I mean, you know what I mean? So you can't even keep the players. The Leafs are in the same position, and so is the Edmonton Oilers. It's messed up. They kind of got to fix it. I think the NHL has to get an exception, maybe a rookie. I don't know.
How they haven't. I mean, it's amazing to me that they haven't.
Yeah,
they haven't done something to make it better. It's a terrible setup.
It is. It's terrible, and because teams like Buffalo and Arizona can just continually. Buffalo, for example, they signed Craig Anderson again. The guy's 42.
I know. What are they doing?
They did not make a move while Detroit.
Well, they did try to get somebody yesterday, right? And
Matt Murray said no.
He said no.
Yeah,
Matt Murray get rid of his no trade clause.
And think about that. That's Matt Murray from Ottawa, who didn't they just get themselves? No, they got the Brinkat. He said no. He didn't want to go to Buffalo.
Buffalo's got to prove themselves again, worthy of bringing someone that's decent to their organization. I mean, with everything that's gone on in the past few years, I don't blame players. They probably don't trust it yet.
No, and because every time, other than
screwed.
Yeah, because if you have the rookie contract, I'm assuming they're gonna leave. I mean, because
right.
I mean, I
don't they never want to pay they don't want to pay people.
And I don't know why, because I know the
they have no problem. The Pegulas have no problem paying people in the NFL side.
Isn't that weird? That's very odd. I don't get it.
I'm going to say I think it's got more to do that his wife is more involved with the football, and I don't think she's involved with the hockey. I think he is.
Yeah.
I mean, her face, but I know she's a big part in the Bills side of things. I don't think she gets involved. He's such a huge hockey fan. I'm sure he's using it like it's a fucking fantasy hockey league. You know what I mean? Yeah. Think about that. These guys, these owners with all the money, I'm sure they do.
And you know what?
Yeah, they drafted one. Yeah, I saw that too.
Yeah, but that's not gonna.
I know. That's why I was bringing up that they did try to trade for somebody that was worthy.
I mean, they still haven't gotten that other draft pick to be a regular goalie for them. Pekka Luka Kekkonen, or whatever the hell his name is.
I mean, that dude?
He's there.
I don't follow the Sabres enough.
Yeah, he's there. I mean, he's there. But I mean, they needed to get. I mean, you're watching Detroit and Ottawa, who are in the same boat with Buffalo, do things, and Buffalo do nothing. So, I mean, because Matt Murray's in this, you know what? Matt Murray's like, I talk about Braden Holtby. It's that same thing. I mean, if I'm Buffalo, and I don't know how they'd have to overpay, but I'd be trying to get, I don't know. I mean, because
Darcy Kemper, you overpay at this point? Why wouldn't you overpay at this point? You got a good young core, right? They have a good. You think they've got a decent young core team?
Well,
I mean, they really came together towards the end of the season.
The only thing with them is I don't believe that some of the guys that scored would score we won't be the same when. All right, Tage Thompson's not going to score 30 when that team. When that team's good, he's not going to be the number one center. Like, you see what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying. He's filling the role decent now because they're on their way up, and it's probably not expected him to be his 30-goal scorer at this point.
And then they play. It's a whole thing. I mean, they play. You get to the point where they get eliminated from the playoffs by Christmas. By January, you already know they're out.
Right.
So then, if you notice, come February, March, and April, they play great. They always look great, February, March, and April. Well, they're out of playoff contention. And I don't think what's the pressure? None.
You think it's because they're young? You think it's just because they're so young?
Every year. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. It can't be. I just think they just need to inject some good veterans in there. And maybe you could take a run at a playoff spot, do something. I don't understand how anyone even goes and watches it. I would not watch that if you.
I do it to support local sports. Just that's how I roll.
Yeah,
I went to a game this year. I didn't buy a ticket. I was given sweet tickets. So hell yeah, I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna drink free booze and eat some good food and sit and watch a hockey game. Towards the end of the year, because tickets are also not that expensive right now. I got a good ticket story for you. I had a conversation with somebody on Twitter about a Bills game, but I'll talk to them about that later. But anyway, I'm surprised they don't have bigger crowds now just because tickets are cheaper.
Yeah. Well, I think
this is usually if you were to go to a hockey game, because if they get good, it becomes unaffordable.
Once the Canadians can come back across, which should be this season, I think you'll get that stadium, the arena. Well, they'll come just to watch the other team.
John, I have been locked at the Grand Island Bridge every single day since the bridge opened.
Yeah.
It's having its effects. They're over here, buddy.
Yeah. No, they are.
You're Canadian. They'll be all over here next year. Trust me. In spades, man. Let me tell you, I hate it.
And they'll be going.
I hate it for my drive home from work.
Right.
Now it takes me 45 minutes, and it normally takes me 12 minutes.
12 minutes. Yeah. So that's the Sabres for. In my opinion, they've done nothing to show me, if I'm a fan of that team, that they're trying to win.
Okay.
I mean,
fair. That's fair.
The last time they were good was because the league shut down and restarted. The last time they were good was 2006 and 2007, and that was because the league shut down. Because at that point, everyone had to, the salary cap was $42 million. It was ridiculous what they did. So if they can't keep up, I don't even know how they're here anymore. There comes a point where I don't even get it.
Really?
How are they even? Because when you're signing players like Ben Bishop, who's a goalie, who's not going to play, he's physically unable to perform, and they know that, but they're just taking on that $6 million just so they can get to the cap minimum.
So they don't get fined, right?
Yeah, what the hell's that? If I'm a fan,
why wouldn't you use that money on a player that you could add to your team?
I don't get it. The NHL might have to step in. They did it before in Arizona. Someone might have to look into what the hell.
Where the league takes over the team.
I don't know what they're doing.
Well, they did that here before. They did that when the whatchamacallits owned it.
Oh, did they? When there was that transition?
Yeah, that huge scandal with the Adelphia Cable people there.
Right. Oh, yeah, Regas.
Yeah, the league came in and ran the team for I think 2 years or a year.
Yeah, that was with Regas.
Before Pagula got a hold of it.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's the Sabres. The Knights, Chris was asking about the Vegas Knights. You know what? Quiet. Not much going on. I mean, I'm sure they'll do something come free agency, which starts on Wednesday. Wednesday, the floodgates should open to free agents, and there's a lot of good ones.
Are you happy so far with what your team did? Did you see moves by them to improve?
Last night, just to get that $3.8 million was all they needed to do, because there's nothing else.
Is that all they did?
That's all they did. Yeah, and at the draft, they drafted their players, and they got that trade for the 3.8.
Other than that, they didn't really make any moves. What are they going to wait for free agents?
Not yet, because free agency won't open until Wednesday.
Who's the biggest free agent?
Oh, well, you got older guys that aren't going to make the money they used to, like Malkin is there. Who else? You got like guys like Phil Kessel, Claude Giroux. You got some guys. I mean, there's some.
Who's the best one
out of that group?
The top. Who's your number one sought after? All leagues have it. Who would you think is the number one sought after free agent will be?
Well, in my mind, I'm guessing. See, it's Claude Giroux would probably be a big one because he's still not that old, and he put up good points this year. Put up like 65 points with Florida. I don't think Malkin. Well, if Malkin gets out there, if Evgeny Malkin gets out there, if the Penguins do let it go, because the Penguins at first it would have been Chris Letang, but the Penguins kept him 6 years at $6 million a year. $36 million. Robin, I would have to say Malkin, right? Malkin. Kessel would be great because he won cups, and if he doesn't have to be the guy, and he can be the second, he can be someone you just need to score. You don't even be a captain of your team or nothing. He can be outstanding. He can be really good. Other than that, the rest are more players that, like Nikushin, the guy who played for Colorado. I think he's going to be outstanding. He was great in the playoffs, big guy. There's one. There's a guy who I would. It's just not the name, like not
the name recognition of him like Kessel and stuff like that.
There's. I'm trying to think of other players that are going to be out there, but they're going to be those that are like the Leafs. They're not going to be able to keep Mikheyev. He was great this year, but they can't afford to give him $5 million a year like he's going to want. $4.5 million. They just can't. He's got to go. So someone will get him. Malkin will be interesting. Where he
it's going to be so hard to win in the NHL.
And the goalies.
The rosters just turn over and over and over. It's it's just amazing how many big name players get let go by. It's just amazing to me. It's a salary cap because teams can't afford to keep guys. But
that's like you put Edmonton in a bind. Zach Kassian had to go, but they also have a young defenseman who's going to have to be paid. The Maple Leafs have that too because you got Marner and Matthews. Nylander's probably got to be traded. He's one of the guys that's making about $8 million a year, and he's almost an 80-point per year player, and he's got to go. Robin brought up Patrice Bergeron is with Boston. Oh, Johnny Gaudreau. I forgot all about him from Calgary. He's going to be a free agent if he makes it to Wednesday, and are a lot of these guys going to be free agents because their teams just can't afford to keep them, or are they going to get re-signed by these teams? Or they probably would have already. They probably wouldn't even let them go to free agency, right? Yeah, free agency is Wednesday, so they have time. But I'm glad. Thank you for this list because Johnny Gaudreau, he's got to be the biggest. Now that I think about it, he almost was going to be a Hart Trophy winner this year. He was at one point up for that award. Right. How old is he? He is how old could? Gaudreau, how old are you? I'm gonna guess it like 29. Oh, so he's probably at his peak. Yeah, he's awfully good. Now there's Philip Forsberg for Nashville. There's a guy like Forsberg's around forever. That's a different Forsberg. Is it? Yeah, okay. I was saying that dude's still playing. Jesus Christ! But he's good. Andre Palat from Tampa. Max Domi, Ty Domi's son. He played well in the playoffs. He could be very good on a team. He's not going to make the money he made. His last contract, he was making $5.3 million a year. That's not. He's got to sign. Is he an asshole like his old man was? Well, I think he's worse. I think he's a good player. Really? He's not a fighter. He can fight, but he scores goals, and he can. He's like dangerous. He's a good player. He's just there's something going on with him because he's bounced from team to team to team. There's something weird about him. Personality issue. Maybe, because it don't make sense. Yeah, if he's good, why would he be bouncing team to team? Yeah, Andre Palat's a good one, and then PK Subban. There's a guy. He's making $9 million a year, but this next contract he'll be lucky to get $2 million. There's no way who can afford $9 million a year for him, but he's one. He's a guy. So yeah, they're going to be out there, and I think though the goalies are the most intriguing thing because. Where does Jack Campbell end up? Where does Darcy Kemper go? I'm going to make a deal here. I am going to make sure. I will promise. I have to add a lot more sports to my repertoire, to my viewing list this year. No. But I want to because I'm learning a lot from you and Julio all the time. So I'm going to start watching this year because I didn't want to try to jump in the middle of a season. You'll love it. At the end of a season because. It's too hard to do that and really get a grasp. It's college football and hockey is what I got to watch more. Baseball, I can only deal with so much of that. I can watch it, but No, and there's.
But yeah. I'm gonna have to pick two teams. I'll probably pick your Leafs and probably the Sabres, and I'll watch those two just because it's easy access for me.
Right.
Well, I have the free ticket thing to watch any game, but I don't want to watch too many people.
Right.
Too many teams. You know what I'm saying? Sorry, man.
Good. All right. The fight zone. Jesus.
That's my ringtone, dude.
Oh, I love it. That's great. I don't know what the fuck happened. I thought they were scoring touchdowns already. Freaking July. I
got issues, dude.
Maybe Josh Allen scored already. If you listen to Bills fans, I'm sure touchdown. Allen.
Dude, I was playing Madden the other day for the first time in years, right?
Yeah.
I was playing Madden 22 I was playing. And I was the Bills, of course. And I scored, and my wife was sitting in church. She wasn't really paying attention to what I was doing. And as soon as you scored, the song comes on. Now, I didn't know that. I was dying. I thought it was hilarious. She just turns and looks at me, and she's like, you've got to be so in love with this video game right now. I'm like, I just think it's so awesome that the shout song's on there. It's super cool, you know?
Yeah, it is cool. And you know what?
And she just laughed at me for the next, half an hour that I played it every time I scored, and it would come on.
No, that was great ringtone. Now, let's do something before we take a break. I want to give an update. I have a good update, courtesy of ESPN and at Wojnarowski on Kevin Durant. So I'm going to play it. It's about 2 minutes long, and then we'll come back. We'll talk about it for a second, then take a break.
We now welcome in senior NBA insider Adrian Wojnarowski. So, Woj, what stage are the Durant trade conversations in?
In my experience, Malika, there's two stages: the day a player requests a trade, and then the day he's traded. So sometimes it takes you looking back at the process to know how far into it you are. But certainly the Nets at this point, they're engaged on a number of fronts for Kevin Durant deals, and a deal of a player of this stature, typically they don't come together quickly. Now, if this trade request had been made prior to the draft and there was sort of the deadline of a draft and the ability to build a deal around picks in that window, it might have moved quicker. But now that we're in the offseason, training camp's still a couple months away, I think that buys the Nets certainly time to continue kind of canvassing the league. And, you start to get into negotiations with teams. They don't always move quickly. The goal of the Nets is to get as much as possible. The goal, obviously, of teams who want to trade for Kevin Durant is to give up as little as possible. And certainly that can grind things, to where it's not necessarily a day-to-day back and forth among teams. I do think getting to Summer League, Sean Marks and, you go through the list of other executives who are going to be in Las Vegas, most of them starting Thursday, Friday. I think the face-to-face can be helpful, especially when you're trying to put together more complicated deals that might require 3-4 teams.
Absolutely. So how closely are the Nets and Kevin Durant working together right now, if at all?
Yeah, Sean Marks, the Nets GM, he's in close contact, regular contact, I'm told, with Kevin Durant's manager, Rich Kleiman. And so they've got a good working relationship. I'm told they've continued to discuss, different scenarios and discuss, how they can figure out moving forward here. So I do think that dialogue with the Nets and Kevin Durant's rep, that's been the case here in the days and time leading up to the trade request, and now since Kevin Durant asked out.
So what is the Nets' strategy here? When we're looking at the possible dominoes that can fall, right? One that continues to come to mind is Kyrie Irving. Is it possible that we could see Kyrie traded first?
It is possible, Malika, and obviously you don't have as wide of a swath of teams, as many conversations, not nearly as many going on for Kyrie Irving than you do Kevin Durant. And I think it's more isolated. The Nets have been engaged with the Lakers really here in the last week. And if they got to a place where there was a deal that made sense that the Lakers wanted to do, that Brooklyn wanted to do, then Brooklyn's got to measure the timing of it and how it would impact where they think they are with Kevin Durant. So the possibility that they could trade Kyrie Irving before Kevin Durant, it exists. There's also a possibility that they don't trade Kyrie Irving. And listen, that they don't find a deal as quickly as everyone might expect for Kevin Durant. Like, all of those things are still on the table. But I think certainly you've got to take them as two individual potential deals. And if you're going to trade them both, how do you get max value for both? The timing may land differently for either of them.
I also thank the ESPN for the courtesy of that. Scott, every player in that league has a no trade clause, because all you got to say is, I won't go.
Every player has it?
Well, I'm just saying they kind of
they just refuse to go.
And if I guess every player in every league does, because all you got to do is put out there, look, I won't go. You can trade for me, but I ain't playing.
Well, I'm sure he has a list. I'm sure he's got a list, and they know the list of the teams that he's willing
Miami and Phoenix.
Is that the only two that he said he'll play for?
That's the only two I know of, but somehow Toronto's getting into the mix.
Is that how that whole trade request, who was that by? The Sixers?
Oh.
That ridiculous thing that I sent you?
Yeah.
Where they wanted like the entire, practically, I think it was almost
the T-Wolves, right?
Yeah.
Minnesota.
Where they wanted like pretty much the whole team.
Yeah.
I mean,
they wanted Karl Anthony Towns, Anthony Edwards, and 4 first-round picks for Durant.
Dude, come on.
Now, I doubt this. The LA Times.
Okay, okay. Let me stop you 1 second.
No, go ahead.
Our first-round picks in the NBA as big of a deal as they are in other leagues?
Not when
so
you
is it a big deal that they wanted 4 first-round picks from him?
The only thing is that you're getting 4
to me, I was like, holy shit, you just took all the stars off the team and you want 4 first-round picks. That's a lot.
But if you're getting Durant, you're going to win champions. You got to be thinking, I'm going to go deep in the playoffs. So those first-round picks are going to be, in the bottom half of the first round.
Yeah, but you're going to lose Towns?
You lose
Towns. That's a huge loss, right? Like, that's who you'd want him on the team, right?
Yes. Yeah. You'd want to keep him, but I don't know how you can't. I don't blame New Jersey. I don't blame them at all, because
look what they're losing.
I mean, that Sean Marks, the GM, that was a side swipe from what I understand.
By Durant asking for a trade
and Kyrie Irving, the whole thing.
What was that? I know, dude. They were just there 1 year, right?
Would it have been 1 or 2 years, maybe? Would it have been 2, Robin? 2 years, yeah.
2 years?
Yeah. Yeah, and it's just...
Well, I guess if things went sideways, I guess they shouldn't have been completely shocked by it. But they should have already known how those guys felt.
But that's not what they said. At the end of the season, they all felt like they were going to be building together, and everyone was going to build. And
it seemed like as soon as the season was over, it was, where's Kevin Durant going to go?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Did the media push it? Because that's what I was seeing on TV almost all the time.
Kyrie, too, I do say that and not to get into it too much, but the vaccination thing, I think, was a problem.
Well, that's playing against him.
I don't think Durant was real. I don't feel like, just from an outsider and listening to what way outside as we are, it sounded like it might have been an issue where he didn't get, that he couldn't play in games because he didn't vax. So
I understand. I can understand. I mean, I understand just because, it's their job.
Right. Yeah.
I mean,
I know. And so then there was this thing from the LA Times that I'm not going to really believe, but they put it out there.
Okay.
That supposedly the Nets and the Lakers talked about Durant. And supposedly the Nets asked for Anthony Davis, LeBron, and 5 first-round picks. Now, I'm going to guess
I would do that in a heartbeat.
I'm going to guess that's not true.
Do that in a heartbeat.
Yeah. I'm going to guess that's not
Davis
true.
just had a horrible season.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to say that's
and
not
LeBron,
true.
I would say yes to that all day long.
Yeah. LeBron wouldn't go. But you see what I mean? Like, no one would go. They just would say, no, I'm not going. That's where this is all wrong.
Yeah, but what if? I bet you I know how they could get LeBron to go. Just try to. Well, no, they'd have to guarantee that they were going to get his son somehow.
Yeah.
If whatever team guarantees they're going to get LeBron, but by that time, who knows what version of him you're going to have?
Right. I don't know.
He's already limited, so
I'm just.
I hate the drama all the time with these same players.
I do not blame the Nets for doing what they're doing. You can't just give them away.
No.
And I don't think they should. And,
no, not at all. Look what you're losing, dude. Kevin Durant is like generational talent.
Right.
Like he will win you a championship.
To me,
obviously, the issue with Kyrie now, if Kyrie had been vaxxed and played, there's a good chance they might have won.
Maybe
You could argue the point that it's a good possibility. Those are two phenomenal players.
They definitely
Harden might not have left.
Yeah, Harden might not have left, and they probably would have. They would have had a much better seeding too. They wouldn't have played in the play-in games like they had to, and all that stuff. There was no reason for them to be in the play-in game. But yeah, I mean, I guess the thing is, Phoenix seems to be the place. If that's going to be the place,
why
then
so?
He wants to go there. They have the They have the players that kind of move. It just seems to fit because with the big guy Ayton, he was a number 1 pick or whatever he was. He was definitely, I forget what pick he was in the first round. If he was number 5 or 6 when he was drafted, he's looked upon as being pretty, a good young player. They got a lot of young players they can move, good ones. I don't know. It just seems to fit right. The money fits right. Booker and him are good friends. That seems to fit right. CP3 is there too. It's what they all love.
Oh yeah, I forgot CP was there.
So, and then you're going to have Phoenix, LA Lakers, I assume, because Kyrie's probably going to end up there. And then you're going to have the LA Clippers. You know what I mean? So it's just, I don't know. Everything seems to be.
Who's leaving the Lakers then?
Yeah.
If Kyrie's going there,
it would probably have to be Anthony Davis.
Anthony Davis got to be Anthony Davis after last season.
Yeah.
The dude's terrible. He's terrible.
I know.
DeAndre.
And they unibrow.
Oh, okay.
It's the most horrible thing I've ever seen.
DeAndre Ayton, and I'm sorry, thank you, Robin. He was the first pick overall in 2018. The guy for the Suns that they could move on in this deal, which kind of all makes sense. You know what we should do? Let's take a break because we're going to come back. We're going to talk NFL. We got a lot of NFL. Robin's question of the day.
Hey, got a lot of NFL.
Yeah, we're going to talk about the Hall of Fame inductees too that are coming up, along with Robin's questions. Let's take a quick break. We'll be back. Okay. All right, welcome back. And you can see that picture. That is the picture why Baker Mayfield is the way he is today. That right there cost him. That right there is why. You know what? I never believe in it. I don't believe now. I'm not a big karma guy. I don't believe in it. But that there was
what he planted the flag in the middle of the field.
That there was bullshit. That there when he did that at Ohio State, that changed. I don't know why he did that. It changed his whole
why would he do that?
I don't know. I don't know what possessed him after they beat Ohio State. Oh my God,
that must have caused people to lose their mind.
Oh yeah, I lost mine. Yeah, I wasn't.
Ohio State guy.
Yeah, I hated him.
You must have lost your shit, dude.
Yeah. Oh yeah. See here, I just didn't.
Okay.
I can't stand them, but then I grew to like them a little bit. You guys all hate the commercials. I like the commercials.
I love the commercials.
They made me laugh.
You know what it was? It was because every time you turned on your television set, he was getting shoved down your throat too much, I think. I think it was just, I think the commercials were getting played too much. I think that really hurt him. I think that really made people not like him.
Maybe.
I think his face.
And it made me like him. I made me like him more. I love those commercials, cracked me up. But anyway,
what turned me on Baker Mayfield was the way he got treated last season.
Right.
When the dude literally went out there with his arm falling off, and he still played every single game that he could. I'm sorry, man. He could have just called it in for the rest of the season easily. He had every reason to do so. And then what they did to him with who they did it to him with.
Right.
Dude, I told you, I'm putting money on Carolina just to win the division.
Yeah.
I think that dude is going to play with it. He might not be able to overcome Brady, but I think he's going to have a chip on his shoulder like nobody's business. I think I think Carolina might rally if McCaffrey
make the playoffs. Maybe
if McCaffrey can stay healthy for the whole year, dude. I'm sorry. I think they're going to be really good.
They could make the playoffs. Maybe I don't know.
I hope that they do, and I hope the Browns don't for the next 10 years. And I'm sorry, Cleveland fans. It's called karma, man.
They play them opening day, and we don't know who the starter will be.
Dude. I'll put money right now. I would put money on Carolina.
I will tell you that I don't know. That's interesting. I don't know. It depends how they feel. It depends. The defense for the Browns is awfully good. It'll be interesting.
Deshaun Watson's not starting the season.
Who?
Deshaun Watson's not.
No.
So you think Jacoby Brissett's got it going on, huh?
No, I think
that's who's going to play.
I think they can hand the ball to Nick Chubb, and maybe he could throw the ball at least to the other guy. And the other, they got Amari Cooper, and they got enough weapons around.
I don't know, man. I think it's going to be a bad year for Cleveland.
I think the Browns' defense is going to be the problem for Baker Mayfield. I just think I don't think he makes it out of the season alive. I think he will not make it out alive. Mayfield,
I hope he does. I hope he does just to make the owner of the Cleveland Browns feel like a complete turd.
Well, yeah, because they're morons. I don't know.
Well, they treated him like shit, man. They really did the guy wrong. They didn't need to do it the way they did it.
I wouldn't have minded if they wanted to go in a different direction, but then going in the direction of Watson and not knowing what was coming, that was just foolish. Like, I don't understand. I mean,
why would you set yourself up like that?
Right. It didn't make sense to me.
Now, how do you even trust in that guy going forward? If he had to have lied to him.
I would think, yeah, right.
Well, dude, if it comes out that he didn't and he told them all the truth,
well, then they're really
shame on the Cleveland Browns, dude.
Yeah, that makes no sense. I guess they would just be hoping that they're. I don't know. Yeah, no, I agree. Shame on them. Shame on. I don't
shame on them right now anyway for what they did for who they went out and got.
See, I don't think Baker Mayfield's any better than Garoppolo.
I mean, dude, if I walked into a massage.
Oh, I know.
It said I'm bringing my own towel and it's a fucking washcloth.
You should be in jail.
I mean, come on.
And then do what he did. Then
dude, absolutely.
He assaulted. He did assault him physically.
Sure, he did. A few of them. I don't know if it was all of them, but I think it was a few of them.
Like I said, I think Mayfield is as good as Garoppolo. In my mind, when they're both healthy, I don't see any difference in the two.
Well, Jimmy G isn't even throwing the ball yet, though.
Kyle Shanahan.
He had a surgery already, right?
Yeah. Shanahan says he did confirm today or whenever that they're trying to trade him. I don't know who he could trade him to. I can't think of a team.
Dude, you waited so long to do this.
Where would he go, though? Like, who needs where? Who? I'm just curious.
Dude, he'd be serviceable. He would have been all right in Carolina. He'd be all right in Carolina.
Maybe
Houston?
Seattle.
What about Houston?
Yeah. Seattle.
What about Denver? Or not Denver? What if Seattle?
Yeah.
I mean, he's serviceable. He would work for Seattle. He would be exactly, you don't depend on him to win the game for him, but he can manage it like a mother. You know what I mean? He's great at that.
He could go to the Browns.
Yeah, he could go to the Browns.
Yeah. You had the Bears. The Bears
are Donna and their Subway commercial.
I don't think the Patriots would be a good one. I don't see how he would. He'd be.
I don't see that happening. Well, I thought that was the way that all went down anyway was bad, wasn't it?
Yeah, I just think, why is he going to be a backup now? I can't imagine that's what he's got to be going for. He's going to fight for the job, at least have a chance. He won't have a chance there.
He should. He should have a chance.
And the only place would be Seattle. and Houston.
Yeah.
That's the only place left now. Chicago, you're nuts. You can't bring Garoppolo in to be the starter. I mean, that doesn't make any sense. And so I mean,
there's not a lot of places.
No.
Well, it'll see how the season shakes out. Really, does somebody get hurt in the preseason? Do they get hurt in training camp? I mean, that really we got to go through all that. So it's going to be right up until the season starts, maybe.
Yeah,
somebody's going to get hurt. They always get hurt,
right? So I mean, I don't know. Mayfield, though, I don't wish him on. I'd never wish injury on anyone ever. I will never do that on a player. I think it's wrong. I don't care how mad I am, or how ridiculous I get over sport. In context. But that guy there gets everything he deserves, not injury wise. I hope he has to fight for every job. I don't care what he does. He's already made a ton of money, so whatever. I don't got to feel bad.
Well, yeah, it seems like he's got no choice at this point. He's got to fight for a job.
Yeah, he can just.
He's not going to get it just handed to him.
Yeah, no, you know what? The hell with him. But yeah, I do agree with you. I don't like what they did. It wasn't. It was the Browns are just made no, because they have a good team. Why do this to yourselves?
I know. You can now go right into a funk this year and be like, what, 5-12?
Oh my God! And if they are,
can you imagine?
They got the best. They might have the best running game in the league.
They're going to lose that whole team while this guy's not playing.
Stupid. Good defense.
I think it's
good
a
running game. Look at the wide receivers and plus the tight ends. What a mistake! What a dumb.
Houston is very smart.
Yeah, I guess so.
I mean, I know he already wanted out, but I think maybe who knows? Maybe Houston called him on his bullshit, and that's why he wanted out.
Right. And,
who knows? I mean, who knows if they got complaints or something and they fielded him and they confronted him? Who knows? Because that for that situation to sour the way it did just over, because it can't be that much just over the Hopkins trade.
It can't. Right. Yeah, they knew.
You're going to leave an organization just over that move alone?
And we knew that they knew what was going on, Houston, because the guy was leaving them non-disclosure forms or whatever in his locker room.
Yeah.
So, in his locker. So, someone in upper management knew what he was up, somehow.
Somebody knew something, dude. They always do. Always do. Hey.
Now, Robin, why don't we let's get to Robin's hold on, Robin, let me put it up for the people so they know what's happening and they know you're talking. Robin's questions. All right, Robin, go ahead. Give us your question. Question.
So I've got a list of the teams with 9 wins from last season, and I want to see what you guys think as far as over or under for this season. Okay. So the first team is the Dolphins.
What do you think? I'll let you go first, Scott.
Wow. I almost think they might cap at 9, but I'm going to say over.
Yeah,
I think they're going to do halfway decent this year.
Yeah, I like over. I like over for them.
Okay, what about the Steelers?
Oof. Let me tell you something, and I'm going to tell you why I'm going to say this. I'm going to say over, and this is why. Mike Tomlin has never had a losing season.
Yeah.
So he's going over. Do you know that? He's never had a losing season since.
Yeah.
Nope. And 9 wins is a winning season still.
Yeah.
Is 9 wins a winning season?
9-8, yeah.
Oh, yeah, 9-8. I'm sorry. I'm thinking.
No, that's okay. No,
18 weeks of football. That's why.
I say no, unless Pickett or whatever his name is, Pickett is good. I got to say no. I can't see it. But I love their team too. See, that's the other thing. They got players, and they got a great running game, and then they always have a good defense. Fuck it. I say no. I say they go under.
All right, we'll see.
Yeah.
I'm banking it on Tomlin.
Right? The Colts. What did you say?
The Colts.
Oh, definitely over. Over for sure. I think Matt Ryan's going to have a little bit of a resurgence of his career in Indy. He's got a great running game and a great offensive line, man. Defense is good. I like him too.
I like him over.
Yeah.
I think I like it over.
Okay, the Chargers.
Oh, definitely over. Wow, wait a minute.
It better go over.
Dude, that division's really hard. They might not.
They got it.
I don't know. That's a really hard division, man. Think of all those teams that are now stacked in that division. So, wow. I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt because of their quarterback. I'm going to say over.
Yeah, I'm going to give a way over on them.
You think?
I think it'll be 12 wins.
You think they're going to run the division?
I think their defense is too good. I just think I just don't know. I don't think Denver's as good as people think. And I don't think the Raiders are as good as people think. But I do believe that team, in my opinion, I think they go way over. I think they're going to be 11-win team or 12.
Mm-hmm. Right? Got two more for you. The Eagles.
I want to say over because I like Jalen Hurts. But I think it might end up being a disappointment for him. I'm going to go under.
All right. I'm going to say over, and that's going to go the opposite of what you were saying, Scott, with the AFC West. They're kind of weak over there, and I think they beat up on everyone in that division. I think, although the Cowboys, I take that back. Dallas will be good because they got a great defense too. I'm going to give them an over. Yeah. Over. 10 maybe, but you know what? They might hit 9. Go ahead.
And then finally the Saints.
Oh, gosh.
Ooh.
I'm going to go under, and I'm going to tell you why. The best season Jameis Winston ever had, right? The best season he ever had, because he's their starter, correct?
Yeah.
Best season he ever had. He had almost just as many interceptions, or I think, or more than he had touchdowns.
Right. He's like Brett Favre.
I'm going to say under because I'm surprised Kamara's even still there. I figured he was going to want out. I don't know. I just don't trust Jameis Winston as a quarterback. I like him. I always wanted him to do good, but he turns the ball over too much.
He's got a lot of Brett Favre in him in a way, in some ways. Geez, if they had, I would love to see him on a really good team once. That would be interesting. You know what I mean? On a really good, strong defensive team, the whole deal. You know,
he's never had that.
No, Michael Thomas is back.
He just turns the ball over.
It's probably going to go. It probably go. I mean, if Kamara is good and healthy again, yeah, no, he'll go under. I'd go under if you had to put the gun to head or money on the table. I'd go under. Is that the last of that?
Yeah.
Good one. Good question. Good questions on that one.
Great questions. Good. Lamar Jackson.
What's that? Lamar Jackson.
Let's touch on that. Did you see how big he got?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what always worried me so much about him. I mean, I know he's had ankle issues, but I was always so worried about that dude getting hurt.
Yeah.
Because he runs so much. Dude, he got put a lot of weight on.
They said
he looked pretty big. He looked a lot more beefier than normal.
How much?
They said he put on 15 or 20 pounds of muscle.
Yeah, he needs to, because if you're going to run, I mean, Josh Allen's a perfect example. You almost got to be like a truck.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know that he put on enough to matter. But
he just can't. The playoffs. He's just a turnover machine in there. He just can't. He just turns the ball over like crazy. In my eyes, when I watch him play in the playoffs, I don't know. I hope he does well.
Well, he's banking on himself this year, man. He's going into the season and he doesn't want a contract. He said, I guess he supposedly said at one point that I haven't done anything to deserve a contract that big.
Yeah, he said that about winning. Yes. Yeah.
I guarantee you that conversation switches at the end of the season.
Oh, it switched right here. We played it last week. A reporter asked him. A reporter said to him, "You at one time said you didn't deserve that kind of money because you hadn't won anything." And they asked him, "Do you think you deserve that money?" He said, "I do now."
Oh, did he? Is that what I forgot.
Yeah.
I
so funny. Yeah. Let's see if we got anything here. All right. Chris Fidel asks about, my friend, hey, Chris, about the Cowboys. I love the Cowboys this year. I think their defense Micah Parsons is ridiculous. They got one of the best defenses in the league. They're going to be top.
Micah Parsons is insane. Their defense is going to be great.
I think offensively they're always
back there too. I mean, they're good.
Their
good enough. Defense is good. Is it going to make up for this?
They're good enough.
What do they do with what has gone on with Elliott? I don't understand why that guy's just completely disappeared.
I don't know. Injuries, right? But
he had nagging injuries? Because that guy was fantastic, and all of a sudden
he still put up good numbers. He still did all right last year. I mean, he
wasn't like the games I'm expecting him to have for the money he paid.
I'm
expecting the big games out of him. It didn't seem like there was very many last year.
I think him and Pollard could be a very good 1-2 punch.
It's nice, yeah.
That could almost end up being, the Thunder and Lightning bullshit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's something funny about this that I read, and it was on the.
Though. He's great.
And this is about the Cowboys, and it was, thanks, Chris, for the segue kind of into it. This was your guy, Von Miller, and Von Miller said, I told them I was ready to come to the Cowboys. I would have taken less to go to Dallas because it's Dallas, but I wouldn't take that much less. So thank you. If you're a Bills fan, thank you, Jerry Jones, for being cheap.
I'm going to say something about the Von Miller stuff here. I'm glad he's on the team. I am, but I'm really tired of hearing about he was changing his mind on his way here. Dude, I've heard it like 3-4 times. Stop fucking talking about it. I don't want to know that you were going to go to fucking Dallas. I don't want to hear about that stuff. If you want a fan base to like you, stop telling us that you didn't want to be here.
He don't care.
I mean, dude, shut up. Like,
he's coming.
I like the guy, but he's making me not like him. I just bought his fucking jersey. It's upstairs. He's making me angry. I might not put the thing on.
Yeah, no. It is interesting when these guys. Who did that? It was in baseball with Freddie Freeman, or was it Freddie? Yeah, right. It was a Freeman last week we were talking about.
Oh yeah.
With the crying, and then Kershaw said, "Jesus, you want to go back."
You know what I mean, dude? You're talking about LA so much. Then why did you leave?
Because I heard
you're here now. Shut up about there.
Yeah,
worry about here.
I heard Sam Acho talk about it today on ESPN, where he said, he's from Texas and he sees them there. He's in Dallas all the time. You always see him.
He's got his cowboy hat, his farm.
They must have really low. I mean, I can only imagine what the offer was. Why don't we get off of that, though? I would like to talk before we leave, or before we have to leave, about the inductees into the Hall of Fame this year. I'll read them off for everybody. Tony Baselli, Cliff Branch, Leroy Butler, Art McNally, the referee, Sam Mills, Richard Seymour, Dick Vermeil, and Bryant Young. Your thoughts on these guys?
I love it.
Yeah.
I love Vermeil getting in.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome. That guy was, man, you want to talk about a guy, a coach that cared about football. Holy shit.
Yeah, he'd cry.
I'll never forget seeing him cry. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? That doesn't bother me. It was the way the guy was. I mean, it was his personality.
Yeah, no, and who's kind of like that a little? Reminds me of Vermeil a little is Pete Carroll. I get that same feeling about them two guys.
Yeah, totally.
Emotion.
Right.
Tony Baselli, wow, first Jacksonville player, and he deserved it. He was unbelievable.
Oh, I mean, dude, are you kidding me?
What a machine he was.
He was a beast.
And then the other guy, I mean, Bryant Young, Richard Seymour, Sam Mills was great too. He passed away, but he was phenomenal. Man, that Saints team with Vaughn,
that defense was
Ricky Jackson,
insane.
Yeah, Vaughn Johnson, I think Ricky Jackson. I'm probably forgetting it was a 3-4 defense. They were unbelievable.
They were unbelievable, man.
There's a Turnbull or somebody. I don't know. It's going so far back, but I remember just how damn good they were.
Yeah, I remember when Sam Mills was around.
And, there's guys that didn't make it that probably will get a shot some other time. I mean, I think Zach Thomas someday maybe makes it because he's got some really good numbers when you look at other linebackers that have made it. Devin Hester may, I don't know. But there's guys. That's sad. Some of them.
There's so many on the list that should.
Yeah, that should.
Hopefully they get their chance.
Yeah, before they die, right?
Yeah. There's nothing worse than them not being alive to enjoy it.
Yeah. No, it sucked. I mean, there was a question I just forgot about, and this has been on ESPN all day because Robin had it on, and when I came home, about Aaron Rodgers. I don't know why they're talking about this today. It must be a slow day.
God, is this about the tattoo?
No. I don't even know what that's about.
Yeah.
It was about.
He's a weird dude.
Will Aaron Rodgers suffer? And obviously the answer is yes from losing Davante Adams. Of course he will. Who wouldn't?
John, just like us, it's hard to get content right now.
Yeah, right?
So they are just throwing shit at the wall, dude.
But that's a definite answer. Of course.
That's a ridiculous question.
I think he's going to help. I hit the wide receivers that are there now. Like some of these guys, they're going to be very good because of having Rodgers, and they might make money off it.
He turns them into superstars.
Yeah. So
how can you not? Aaron Rodgers is your quarterback, dude.
Yeah. I mean, sure. I mean, I also think
I heard him talking the other day, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
I heard him in an interview from the Pat McAfee show where he seems to be the most honest and open, I guess you would say.
Right.
And he was asking him, and he doesn't reveal too much, but they were asking him about how he felt about the offense and the defense. And he said, the defense looks great. Like they are ready to go. He said the offense, that's going to take a little bit to get going. It's going to take a little time with these guys. So, he's got a ton of young guys there. He doesn't have a true number one.
No.
So we'll see who emerges as that number one. This is where the stars get born, Johnny.
Yeah, it does.
This is where it happens. This is where they play great this year and get to the playoffs, show everybody they're phenomenal. Then they go to like Minnesota and get like 30 catches for 500 yards.
I think they're going to be a dark horse this year. I got a feeling about the Vikings. I think they could be very good. I don't know. There's something. They've done some things. They're
smartest quarterback in the NFL, buddy.
Yeah,
I think he's made the most money ever.
Keep Dalvin Cook healthy. I mean, and you still have the wide receiver. I mean,
they got a great team. It's all on him, dude. The quarterback.
Yeah, it's all on him.
He seems to just flame out when it comes playoff time. If they make it.
I know, and he did a great job for himself. Though you are right. I mean, he'll never have to have another contract.
So much money.
Yeah.
Think about how many years he signed.
I know.
At the getting franchise tagged. He didn't care. He didn't care.
He shouldn't.
He is one of the top quarterbacks in the league, and he wasn't one of the top quarterbacks in the league. It's amazing.
It's beautiful.
I hear players talk about it all the time. They're like, that dude is the smartest dude. He gets all this guaranteed money and short-term contracts.
The other guy that I always feel that way about, but he was a backup forever, was Chase Daniels. My God, that guy. Backup for 15 years. Never played. He played 5 games, and he was a backup to Drew Brees forever. And,
he was there, never had to play.
And he's still in the league because I don't know what it is, why people want him. Because when he comes in, I watched him. He was the backup for the Bears, and I saw him, and oh my God, it wasn't good. But I guess it just don't matter.
Maybe he's a good mentor for the young guys or something.
Gotta be.
They do bring guys in for that reason.
Quarterbacks coach time.
Matt Barkley, perfect example. They don't need
another one. Well, that was like Todd Collins. He hung around for a long time as a backup.
He won a Super Bowl, didn't he?
He may have.
As a backup, he did. I think
probably. Yeah.
He was supposed to be the heir apparent to Jim Kelly, dude. Remember?
That's why the Bears brought in the guy
from Michigan boy.
That's why the Bears brought that Peterman in. It has nothing to do with his play. It's because of how he is with the coaching aspect of it.
Gotta be. Yeah.
That's why the Raiders had him.
Dude, when you throw 5 interceptions like the first half of a football game, that's pretty bad. I'm surprised you even get you're lucky to get a job at that point, so you must be good at something.
Well, think about the shitty quarterbacks that have jobs. I mean, what's his name? Who was the coach of the Saints? Sean Payton. He was, or what the hell is that name, right? Sean Payton. He was a scab player. He was the Bears quarterback during the strike year.
Really?
And, he played for the Bears during the '87 strike, I guess. And so these guys suck, but they're great coaches. It's interesting. And it's great players can't be coached. I don't know. It's very weird. It's very strange.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Right. The shitty players are the good coaches.
Yeah, Marty Schottenheimer's a great coach. He played a while, but he was always kind of just background guy for the Browns and Steelers, whatever. Like Mike Tomlin, he played. I would never know he played.
True.
It's weird. It's weird how that goes.
Ken Dorsey, a lot of people don't remember he played.
Yeah.
He didn't really leave a mark in the NFL.
I'm guessing it's because when you're not good enough and you love it, you know what I mean? It's got to be what it is. You still love it. You're going to be in it some way, somehow.
You might like the different aspect of it, the coaching, the mental aspect.
At 8 years old, that's all I needed. When I was 8, I realized nothing was happening. And that's when I decided, I wanted, I'll play, but I know I'm not going anywhere. I always wanted to turn to broadcasting. But
really?
Yeah, because I figured I can't play. What the hell am I going to do?
I can remember this like it was literally, it was yesterday. We were riding in the car, and my father looked at me in the rearview mirror and he said, "So, you want to play football like the Buffalo Bills?" I was like, "Yeah." Yeah, I played up and through in the high school. I only played a couple years in high school because I sucked, but
yeah, wow.
It made me a wide receiver, man. I've always played different I was in Little League. I played like the offensive line and stuff like that. I didn't need to,
Right.
because we were all the same weight.
Once you realize, and it happens in every kid's life, I assume, you realize that it isn't.
Yeah, you ain't it, dude.
Yeah, no. I mean, it's a slap. It can be a slap, but it never. You know what though? Like I said, it happened to me at 8 years old, so it didn't take long. I didn't have to go to high school to know that I wasn't, that fuck it. I couldn't practice enough. It wouldn't matter what I did. Even steroids wouldn't have helped. Wouldn't have mattered. HGH wouldn't have made it.
And they were readily available, buddy. Let me tell you.
They sure were in the 8. Yeah.
Oh Lord in heaven. There was a lot of puffy dudes running around high school.
Yeah, and in Western New York. So you know what? Let's get out of here. It's Friday. Let me remind everyone that tomorrow, Saturday at 2:00, Falls Count Anywhere, Charlie Turner has COVID, so he's not going to be.
I hope he's all
he
right.
won't be on. I will be sitting in with Chris DiCarlo at 2:00. We have a guest. King Kalua will be with us.
Nice.
So look forward to talking to him. He'll have a lot of great stories, and I think he's still active in wrestling. He has gone up against some of the greats, so it'll be great to talk to him. So watch that at 2:00. Monday, Citizens United will be back, but Noelle, my co-host, had neck surgery today, so her mother is going to sit in with me. Gail Delzappo will be with me. That'll be fun.
Are we falling apart here?
Yeah, we might. Yes, we're very injured.
No, I'm just kidding. I hope everybody gets healthy and is okay.
Tuesday, Robin's show will be on, and then we'll be on again on Friday, and hopefully more stuff. So, Scott, thanks again. Great show.
As always.
And we'll be talking to everyone next week.
See ya.
Take care, everybody. Be safe.